What's going on, YouTube? I just wanted to share a brand new video with you guys, obviously because you're here on YouTube. But this was a video from a little while back this spring. Chad and Heather Hallam's sight fishing is one of my favorite things to do, and Chad and Heather, I'm really excited about this because they said they have never caught a fish spawning before. A bedding bass, one guarding the nest, making a bed. Never caught one doing that before. And catching fish on bed sometimes can be somewhat intimidating. Why is it intimidating? Because most people don't know what they're looking for. They don't know what to look for when looking for spawning fish. You don't always see the entire fish when you're sight fishing. One of the keys to sight fishing is knowing what fish spawn beside, knowing what areas to look for fish that may be spawning. Two, I think it's always important to get to the clearest water that you can find. Now, that doesn't mean when it's dirty water that you can't sight fish. What I'm saying is if you're a new person to sight fishing, the best way for you to become and get some practice sight fishing is going to be getting the clearest water that you can find. After I kind of start to teach Chad and Heather what to look for when they're sight fishing, they catch on to it pretty quick. We start to have some fun.
Oh, something's jerking my pretty good.
Get it.
For real, jerk it.
Jerk it.
Jerk it.
Oh, Heather! Got it.
Okay, girl.
I didn't know what you were doing.
Yeah, I got you. That's good. Alright, just flip me in. You reel him up far enough. Yep, yep.
What do I do?
There you go. You got it. You got it. Chad, oh, she didn't need no coaching now.
No, she
didn't need it. She went right ahead and said, alright, now what do y'all want me to do with it?
Taking one off the hook before.
Cast out front of those. You see them? Look, that's like red fishing right there. Alright, shake it. Oh. Did he get it? There he is up there, Heather. You see him? You see him? Slow it down. He's trying to get it. Just slow it down. Shake it. There you go. He's right on. Did he get it to him? He got it, man. He got you. You see him, Heather? You still see him? Look at that one chasing. He's trying to get it. Get it.
Oh, it's so good. They were coming down the bank like a wolf pack, man. It was like redfish. That's another big one, Chad. He said he got that. I was like, well, he got it. Oh, yeah. That was cool. Alright, man. See one? Throw up there too. Yeah, I see him. You should catch that one. Uh-oh. Looking a little bit. Number 2 already. Especially if you're starting off, you're going to want to have at least 2 things when you're sight fishing. You're going to have something light, something weightless. It doesn't necessarily be weightless, but something that sinks really, really slow. And then I like something that gets in the bed and sinks really fast. And the reason I do that is because every fish has a certain attitude. There's going to be certain fish that you're going to fish for that you kind of have to press him into biting. You're going to flip up there and you need that bait to get down and get to him really quickly before he has a chance to really pay it any attention and get his attention otherwise. And then there's going to be other fish that are really spooky, and what you need to do is get a bait that you can throw in his bed and just let that bait flutter down, let him get comfortable with it. You'll notice in this trip with Chad and Heather, it's pretty cold. You know, it's in the middle part of April, but it's still really, really, really cold. Highs on this particular day is in the mid 50s or so. And the wind's blowing pretty hard, so not exactly the best conditions to sight fish in. But here's the beauty of fishing during the spawn, especially on a clear Highland reservoir like Lake Hartwell. Since we know that there's fish on beds, there's been a cold front, we know there's fish on bed, I can promise you those fish do not leave. during a cold front. It has got to get extremely cold before you get a bass to leave during a cold front when they're spawning. They will stay there and guard those beds at all costs. So being that it's springtime, being that it's a cold front, we're going to do nothing but sight fish because I know that those fish will not leave the beds.
Did you see the chick? Yeah. That's a spot. Yeah, he's up. He's watching. Can you see him, Heather? You know what you're looking at? You're just looking at it.
I'm just staring.
It's all right. Right on top of it, looking at it. You think you're moving it, but you're actually not.
Oh, something.
Yeah, you got it. You got him. You got him.
Ah!
Got it.
Smart now.
Good one. She said, "Oh, I felt him."
Okay, what do I do?
You're good. That's good. Just use your rod to pull the fish. Don't use the reel.
What do
Nothing more. Let him run. It's okay. It's all right.
Okay.
Now you can reel him some.
Okay.
You made him mad.
Well, I don't want to do.
Just reel maybe one more time.
Okay.
All right, you're good. You're good. All right. All right, Miss Heather. God.
That's a good one.
That's a real good one.
Yeah, that's a good look.
There you go, Heather. Hold on, let me get Mama's phone.
Right now the lake levels are up pretty high on Lake Hartwell, so we got the dog fennel grass, and those bass love to bed in dog fennel. Those are going to be high percentage areas to find fish. Remember what I said, fish always like to bed beside something.
You see something?
Yeah, I saw one, and I didn't spot right here. And I didn't trust what I was seeing. I got too close and then it moved on.
I was throwing it to the rock.
Got it. He got it.
He got mine?
Decent.
Hey,
What's going on? That's a good one.
That's a big mouth.
I was trying to get him fired up and he went ahead and ate it. I was going.
Let me see that.
That's so freaking awesome. He got that thing. He did. Did you see him snap at it? He did. That's so cool. Can't leave the line tight.
Yeah, I just pulled it right through there.
Yeah, so if you watch him not, when I snap it off of it, I'm going to let it fall straight back. I'm going to wait to get it to fall straight back and just slap. Because if you keep it tight while it's falling, you can keep on taking right on the straight toward you. Like he's coming up to it now. Shake it. Shake it. Oh, yeah. You got him, boss?
So I got it?
Yeah.
He dropped it.
Yeah, well, he had it for a second. That was going to be... That's so cool. We might have to switch bait here on that one. That's a good fish. Got it. And I'll hoss him now. I'll hoss him. I'll hoss him. Take your time. That's enough. That's enough. All right, you got it finally. You finally got her.
We followed that one.
Yeah. But you see how that just make her react with that little quick snap
A little
and
pop. Yeah, that was
little quick pop. That's fun, man. That is a fun fish to catch. Yeah, that was hungry. It's on the bottom. He's looking at it. Go ahead and click it over, tighten it up, and shake it. He's gonna run with it as soon as you start shaking. See him going down. His head is turning sideways. Are you shaking it? You got it tight and really shake. I love watching people sight fish. It's so much fun.
It's just tight.
Got him. He was all the way out here. She said it's tight.
Okay, no, real.
That's good. Just use your rod now. But when he runs, let him run, okay? Like when he wants to run, it's okay. All right. Whoa. All right, can you pull him toward me? There you go.
Good job.
That's a good job. Awesome. All right, let me some slack in your rod. All right. Just watch the hook there. There you go. Now you caught that one. You did all the work. That's awesome. Let me see. I may have to get the hook out here. You hold that for me.
got it.
Right there. All right. Just, you can let it go. I'll get the hook out for you. She's like, it's tight. Well, whether you're swimming behind the boat with you. Just grab him anywhere. It's just like sandpaper. It ain't gonna hurt you. Good job. That one.
Recently, I've fished the Fattyz way more than I have the big TRD. But I've been throwing that on the Zman Finesse Shroomz, Power Finesse Shroomz head. The Power Finesse Shroomz head is probably gonna have a little bit shorter hook than your typical shaky head. In my mind, it lets the plastic stand up a little bit better. Just that package just works. I wish I had something, once again, had some kind of complicated reason why you should fish the Power Finesse Shroomz head. I don't. That package works. It pairs up with this plastic really well. That head and that plastic just works really well. I get really good hookup ratio with it. Something I got a lot of confidence in, so that's what I use. So Eyewear. Eyewear is the most essential part of sight fishing. I use WileyX glasses, and you know, a good all-around lens to me is the blue mirror. I use the Ignite series. They're really light frame. I think that's probably the best all around. Now you could get really complicated, and there's a couple different lenses you could use for cloudy, low light conditions. You can use a darker lens for you know, when it's really bright and sunny. But I've found personally that the lens that works the best for me in just about every condition is the blue mirror lenses from WileyX. This is the one that I wear just pretty much all the time. But you've got to have a good set of polarized sunglasses. I definitely highly recommend the Ignite series from WileyX. I'm going to tell you why. WileyX, these lenses are pretty much bulletproof. You know, when you're out there fishing, it can be really dangerous. When you're sight fishing is specifically, you know, it's close quarters. You're setting a hook on a fish, you know, 15, 20 foot away from you. And a lot of times you're doing it with a partner. So it'd be really easy to set the hook on one, maybe just barely miss him and have that hook or weight fly back and hit you in the eye. And a lot of other lenses are going to shatter on you, but not the WileyX. These guys are really, if you really want to protect your eyes and also get the best polarized lens on the market, WileyX is going to be the way to go for you. So sunglasses are about, or is more important as having the right bait, because if you don't see the fish, you can't even fish for it. So, as I mentioned before, what we're looking for when we're fishing, we're gonna look, you know, depending on where you live, sometimes these bass, they'll hollow out just a bed and you can see an actual place where they're bedding it. Sometimes, that's not always the case. But if you can't see the actual beds, what you want to do is long cast to places that are likely for fish to spawn. That's what you're going to try to do. So as we're looking, I'm getting the boat pretty close to the bank, looking at the bank to see if we see any light spots, see any fish cruising. A lot of fish are post spawns. When they're post spawn, they group up in little wolf packs, and they'll just cruise the banks looking for brim, looking to attack. They're kind of like gangsters, right? So I'm doing that, and I'm long casting as I'm looking down the bank. A little bit of grass, a little isolated grass underwater, the dog fennel. I might see one little stick of dog fennel. So I'm going to try to actually catch a fish as I'm looking down the bank as well. If you can't see them, which most of us can't, you're not going to actually see a fish a lot of times. You're looking for inconsistencies, you're looking for movement, you're looking for dark shadows, anything a little different. If you can't see the fish, which most of the time you're not going to, remember that. just learn what to look for. Look for something different. Look for that little bit of green blob. Or you'll see a dark bottom, and then something just doesn't look right. You know, it just kind of catches your attention. That's what you're looking for when you're sight fishing. It's something that just doesn't look right. It just doesn't look like grass on the bottom, or it doesn't just look like leaves on the bottom. Something will stick out and look just a little bit different. That's what you want to cast at. So for you first time sight fishermen, I hope this video helps you out. Just go out there and practice. Be patient. Get a couple simple baits that you got a lot of confidence in. Find the clearest water. Learn what fish are actually spawning beside. That's going to put you in an advantage. Be aware of your boat position when you're out there sight fishing. And I think you're going to find out that it's not as hard as it seems. Just look for movement. Look for anything that's a little bit different. Anybody can sight fish. You know, one thing